Hey everyone, Kyle here, and in this video I'm going to be giving you 3 ways to sell your product or service. So ultimately there is only 3 ways to sell your product or service, and hopefully this video gives you examples on how to do each of them. So the first way, and the most obvious way, is just having someone directly check out on a website. So if you're selling something, let's say on Amazon, they could just go there on Amazon.com and purchase it. Or if you're selling a product on social media, they could just go in there, enter in their credit card information, and check out on a website. So this is usually good for lower ticket stuff. So under $1,000, you're usually going to want to just have a direct checkout on a website. After that, the most obvious one, which is having a website. Step number 2 is with a Zoom meeting. So if you're selling maybe something that is higher ticket, that is digital, or maybe you're selling a digital service, the second way of really selling your product or service is with a Zoom meeting. So what you want to do with this is you're going to want to generate leads. So this is just people interested. Name, email, phone number usually is good enough. When you're generating a lead, you want to qualify a lead. After you generate this lead, so just make sure they have a budget, make sure they have authority, make sure they have a need, and make sure the timing is right. So after you generate that lead, maybe all you know is the name, email, phone number. What you're going to want to do is give them a call. So right here. So it's going to be 5 to 10 minute phone call. And all you're really doing for qualifying this lead is just making sure you don't waste time with meeting them. So you're making sure they have money to purchase your product, you're making sure they can make a purchasing decision, make sure they have a need for your product, and make sure they're in the market right now to buy your product. After that, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and let me erase this. Hold a Zoom meeting. And this is usually 1 hour meeting, but it could be longer depending on what you're selling. If you're selling something super custom, super complex, it could be a longer meeting than that. And during this meeting, what you could usually do is you could just accept someone's credit card, or after you could send them a proposal, you could send them a contract, just really depending on what you're selling. This is the second way to sell something. So instead of just having someone directly check out on a website, if you're selling a custom service, you're going to want to sell this. And again, this is better for digital services and digital products and high-end digital stuff with this Zoom meeting. And then finally, the last one, which is step number 3, and this is an in-person meeting. So if you're selling cars, you're selling real estate, you're selling maybe custom construction, you're going to want to do an in-person meeting. So it's pretty similar like the last one. So generate leads, name, email, phone number. Gonna want to go again through the same process of qualify the lead. This is going to be budget, authority, need, and time. And again, 5 to 10 minute call. And then after this, you're literally going to do the same thing you would as a Zoom meeting, but you're going to do this in person. So in-person meeting to sell your product or service. And like I said, if you're selling something physical, something in the real world, you're selling yachts, you're selling jewelry, you're selling cars, you're selling real estate, custom construction, this is the in-person meeting process. So these are really the 3 ways you should be selling your product or service. Obviously, this checkout on website is pretty obvious when you're spending money, but these sales processes for services can be a little bit more complex. So hopefully I made it obvious in this video the 3 different ways you can sell your product. Like I said, if you're selling something under 1,000, it's probably best to have them check out on a website. If you're selling something high-end digital, it's best to do something with a Zoom meeting. And then finally, if you're selling something in the real world, physical, it's best to do an in-person meeting. So those are really the 3 ways to turn online leads into customers and to sell your product or service. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want more sales content, go ahead and subscribe down below.